Welcome to the office. Let's talk. So one of the most common questions I get, especially from students or people who are kind of thinking of switching careers, is how much money does an architect actually make? It's an honest question because you kind of need to know going into this. But the short answer is it depends. I know that's not the most satisfying answer, but architecture is one of those professions where salary can vary wildly depending on your experience, the location that you're at, the type of work they do, even the size of firm you work for. So I'll break down what I can and give you a little bit of more information. So when people think of architects, they usually imagine big fancy homes or skyscrapers, but the truth is not all architects design those kinds of projects. We may be doing things like small recreation centers for the community, or you might be doing schools or hospitals, office buildings, retail. It's all over the place. And so based on that, not everybody kind of gets paid the same way depending on the type of work you do. So here's some information. According to recent surveys, the average architect salary in the US, somewhere in the range of mid 80,000, but that's just the median. Some earn less than 60, especially early on in their careers, while others, especially like firm principals or architects in high cost cities, they can make well over $150,000. But what it comes down to is experience. It plays a huge role. The new graduate that's working towards licensure, what we in our office call architectural designers, they might start out around 50, 65,000, depending on your location. And then once you're licensed and have a few years under your belt, maybe the salary might jump to $70,000 to $90,000 range. And again, this is 2025 numbers. It may vary over the years. Maybe as you move up to project manager, associate, or even someday principal, your income rises dramatically. So does your responsibility, but your income will go with that. So it's not just about getting licensed, it's about growing your leadership and management skills so that as your responsibility grows, you're going to have the income that comes with it. Like I said before, location, that plays a big factor as well. Architects in large metro areas, New York, San Francisco, Seattle, they tend to make more money, but that's also because they're dealing with a higher cost of living. Meanwhile, architects in smaller towns, rural areas, they may make less on paper, but their cost of living is often much lower. So a $70,000 salary in a smaller city might actually go further than a $100,000 salary in a coastal one. So the type of work also changes things. Like I said, architects can be all over the place. Some are in corporate or commercial designs, working in offices, schools, hospitals. They often have more stable salaries than those with smaller residential firms. Residential architects, especially the ones that own their own practice, they might make less in the early years, but they have a higher long-term earning potential if they build a strong client relationship. There are also architects who move into specialties like sustainability, building information management, construction administration, developers. These are all roles that sometimes can pay more than just the traditional design roles that we're used to. Also, your firm size, that plays a role. Large firms often have structured pay scales and benefits. You might have better health insurance, things like that, because they have the economies of scale. While smaller firms might not have that, but they offer more flexibility or more direct experience, or maybe even like profit sharing. But they'll have fewer of those actual like health insurance, 401k match, that kind of stuff. Neither is better or worse. It just kind of depends on your goals and sort of what you're looking for. So I didn't really answer the question. I gave you some idea of ranges, but if you really want to know the hard data, there's a thing called the AIA, the American Institute of Architects, and they put together a compensation report, and it's one of the best resources out there. It breaks down the average salaries, and you could sort it by position, experience, region, firm size, all the different things that I talked about. And so you can find that on the AIA's website. I'll link it down below as well. They usually update it every couple of years, but it's incredibly helpful in just sort of understanding what's realistic in your area, of the type of work you're doing, of the type of experience you have, and to help you when you're getting started or just have an understanding of what to expect. So in the end, how much does an architect make? It depends. Could be anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000, more or less. Sometimes a lot more, sometimes a lot less, but it all depends on those different variables. Here's what's important to remember though. The value of being an architect isn't just in the paycheck. You also get the creative freedom, you get to problem solve, you have the ability to shape the world around you. And hopefully you're getting paid enough to do that as well. But it's still good to have an idea before you go into the field of what your clear expectations are of income. And so you can plan ahead and you can plan how you grow and understand what your work is worth. So, all right, that's it for today. If you want to see more videos on the business side of architecture, things like how to get your first client or what to charge, things like that, just make sure you subscribe because I'll be putting some of those videos out as well. So, all right, that's it. Now, back to work.